The Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Seaboard Networks.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I am so glad you're here. You look lovely today. My name is Jeremy Long, your host, and I am joined by my co-host and co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We are in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios, trying to stay cool because it's a scorcher. On this episode of Unscaled, we know summer may be winding down, but there's still time to squeeze in one more adventure. And we're not talking about expensive flights, week-long vacations, or blowing what's left of your family budget. No. We're looking around the country for some of our favorite last-minute summer escapes. Places you can reach in just a few hours, enjoy for a long weekend, and still find plenty worth seeing, eating, and, of course, experiencing once you get there. We'll travel from the mountains to beaches to water parks, even some underground waterfalls. So get ready, pack the car. We've got time for one last summer trip.
Yay.
Isn't it the best? I mean, we have a unique problem here in the Southwest. Of course, we do the show out of Las Vegas. We've lived here for, feels like forever.
A good amount of time.
And, we have a unique problem that not a lot of other areas have. We have this just sometimes unbearable heat here in the Southwest.
True.
So whenever we're looking for that last summer trip, I think more people from this area are looking for ways to cool off.
Agree. Yeah.
Like, we're here in Vegas and we have this heat, right? So we don't necessarily want to go to Phoenix where it's even hotter. That's not much of a vacation.
True.
That's not much of a long weekend that I really want to enjoy. Nothing against Phoenix.
Phoenix is lovely, but not in July and August.
But usually when it's 108 here, it's like 120 there.
Right.
So, we want some unique places to cool down and still, get some fun in. And there's a number of areas, and we don't have time to get to every single one of them as we move along, but there's places you can go, like Great Basin National Park that we've talked about several times. It's up in the mountains. It's a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
There's some unique things to do, like go to the cave system and different things like that. But I really wanted to kind of focus in and give people one or two spots that are, if you're in this area, they're not that far of a drive. But they're still unique. And they offer that same thing of kind of cooling down and offering some cool experiences.
Right. Well, you and I love our road trips, but we also love our long weekend trips. So any place that is 4, maybe 5 hour drive at max, we've probably been there for a long weekend so far. And there's a few that we really enjoy. And as you said, this time of year for us is super hot. So we're not just looking for something fun to do. We're looking for a way to not be in such intense summer heat. So I think the options we've come up with are nice if you're looking for a little bit of reprieve from the desert heat we have here in the Southwest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned the mountain escape there, in Ely, the Great Basin. One that we've visited a few times now that remains very popular is Flagstaff, Arizona.
Yeah.
Flagstaff, and I still think as popular as it is, it still flies a little bit under the radar because of its vicinity to so many other popular things. And because a lot of people might see it as like a stop through town on the way to like the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Or on their way to the West Coast or something like that. It's where you stop and get gas,
yeah.
maybe a bite to eat before you move on. But I would argue Flagstaff has a little bit of all those things that we mentioned because it does sit around 7,000 feet above sea level, which means the temperatures are usually about 10 plus degrees less than everywhere else. Usually you pull up the Arizona map and you'll see like Phoenix is 110 and Flagstaff is like 89.
Right. And for people who are not on Fahrenheit, that 110 is very hot.
And they have some really fun things to do there. Now, we've mentioned on past shows, they were the very first city to get the dark sky designation.
Yes.
So you can go there, and they have this beautiful observatory, the Lowell Observatory, which has been there for years. And I mean, in the nighttime, it's insane.
It's beautiful.
You can see the entire universe from
really,
Flagstaff, Arizona.
It really is beautiful. And something I learned the last time we talked about Flagstaff was the Lowell Observatory is where the former planet of Pluto was discovered. Remember Pluto, right?
Hey, man, y'all hear about what happened to Pluto? That's messed up, right? So, like, I mean, for instance, I mean, obviously it's a very popular thing. You want to go online to their website and buy tickets as soon as you can, because they do often sell out.
They do.
But they do have daytime as well as nighttime activities when you go there, like searching the heavens and everything. But just for example, I mean, it's 105 right now in Vegas. It's 72 at the Lowell Observatory.
Perfect weather.
That is perfect weather,
Yeah.
right? They list everything on their website, like the sunset and things of that nature. But throughout the year, they're also doing amazing events, different as they explore different celestial bodies and different things like that. So it's just like one of these really cool places. Yeah. And it's also, like we mentioned, the Grand Canyon. You don't necessarily have to go to the Grand Canyon from Flagstaff. Like, It's not a thing that you add on, like, oh, it's here, we might as well do it. Like, we've been a couple of times. If next time we go, if you're like, let's not do Grand Canyon, I wouldn't be all torn up about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you've never been, obviously you need to go, but Flagstaff has enough to do on its own that you're not required. Like the highlight isn't necessarily always the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there are other things like Sunset Crater Volcano, which is a national monument that's pretty close to Flagstaff. It often gets overshadowed because people are going to, like I said, the Grand Canyon and all of that. But it's about 34. They have like a 30 plus mile scenic loop around Sunset Volcano. And, you go out there, and I guess in summertime, it's not one of those things you want to be out in direct sunlight. And so, like, people oftentimes will kind of shy away from it. But it is a really, really beautiful, underrated scenic loop that I think has moments. It goes in cycles when people find it online, and all of a sudden it's all over Instagram, and then it kind of dies back down. But it is a really beautiful area to kind of go check out, along with the what do they call it? I'm missing the other national monument, the Walnut Canyon National Monument that's also out there, which is about 10 miles southeast.
And there's quite a few other things like that in that area that aren't necessarily national monuments or on that system, but there's just really cool things you can do if you're in this part of Arizona. It's not too far from the Meteor Crater. We've gone out there, and a few other things like this that are kind of these like geological wonders, I guess you could call them.
Absolutely. And it's not that far. Like, if you want to make Flagstaff your home base, it's not that far from like a Sedona, or if you did want to go into like the Phoenix area, or if you want some Wild West fun and go down to Tombstone, it's not that far of a drive. But some actual stops in Flagstaff that we've hit along the way, like if you want to go to burgers, you go to Diablo Burger, or the coffee shop Late for the Train, which is like it's a classic thing, or your favorite bookstore. That's there. They actually have an independent bookstore in Flagstaff that Amy loves. Yeah. And of course, one of my favorite stops, Mother Road Brewing Company.
Oh yeah, so good.
Delicious.
And I love that Flagstaff, I don't know if it's every single weekend, but in their downtown area, they do host frequent farmers markets and festivals in the area. So we've stumbled across it more than once, just happening to be there the same weekend. So all kinds of things going on in that city. Yeah.
So down the road a little bit is my other pick for, I think, a Southwest road trip is San Diego.
Yep.
San Diego stays a favorite of a lot of people. So I know I'm not going to use a word like hidden gem or anything ridiculous like that, but it is one of those towns that, it has, I think, something for everyone. The weather's great almost all year round. And you can really just you can pack a lot into a very short amount of time being in and around San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, you have the beach, but you're not too far from the mountains. They have so many museums there. They have lots of amusement parks there. They have a world famous zoo, and they have two parts to the zoo. Also, there's the regular San Diego Zoo, and then there is the San Diego Safari Park, which we happen to like even
Love the
more.
Safari Park.
It's so awesome. And I even took a group of middle-aged men to the Safari Park for a work activity, and they loved it. I was like, nobody's going to want to do this. It was kind of a throwaway activity. Like, if you guys don't have anything to do this afternoon, we can go. And they loved it. So if you haven't been to the Safari Park, check it out. But San Diego has so much to do in the area. I highly recommend it as a trip.
They do have one of the best zoos in the entire world. It's world famous. But head to head, Safari Park or zoo, personally, I always lean Safari Park.
Me too.
I absolutely love it. It's stunning. And then they have the different things like SeaWorld and, things like that. Legoland, all kinds of stuff if you're traveling with younger kids, or you got, I don't know, some like little, like you've picked up some kids. I don't know. Never mind. Don't just pick up kids. I'm not telling you to do that. But even the beaches around there, and there's so many, and like La Jolla Cove, and places along that route or whatever. And you were kind of, I think, getting to the point talking about the park area.
Yes.
And
where all the museums are and everything.
Yeah, what is that called?
Thank you for asking.
It starts with a B. I know.
Oh, Balboa Park.
Balboa Park. There you go. I looked at you and I instantly forgot. Your beauty struck me. That's what it does.
You.
Yes, the Balboa Park, which like earlier this year, I think they had a thing where they were going to start charging people for parking.
They were, and there was like an upheaval.
I mean, people got upset.
They were very upset.
I think it's like still in play, sort of, but they're not enforcing it. And I think officially it goes away at the end of the year. So strike one up for the people of San Diego for sticking to their guns there.
Good. Balboa Park is huge, but it has this whole like museum complex sort of in the middle of it, and it's different types of museums too. So it's a real fun stop if you enjoy museums. We went, I think we hit 3 of the
like the art museums. I think we hit the Japanese Peace Garden. All kinds of things there. So if you're in the Southwest, 2 distinct and different cities, but you'll still have a great time in Flagstaff and in San Diego. Keep it right here. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, co-explorer Amy.
Hello.
We're in Sin City in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. Forgot what the heck I'm talking about, man. We are chatting about different last-minute summer vacations, depending on where you are in the country, or if you're visiting from out of country. Some areas you could, hit up along the way there. We have a lot of fascinating places here in the U.S., but these are just a few that I guess are within a certain amount of drive between major cities and everything, because we don't want you flying across the country for a long weekend. That's too much time on in the air or on the road.
Right.
You need to get somewhere in within 4 or 5 hours so you can set up camp and do all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for most families in the U.S., school's going to start in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So it doesn't give you much time to get in that last little trip with the fam before you have to settle back into school days and all that fun stuff that comes with it. So if you're looking for 3 or 4 fun days somewhere, hopefully one of these is near you and you can get there quickly.
Now, we shift our focus from the Southwest to the Northwest, and the Northwest doesn't usually have the same August problems that we have in the Southwest, where we're trying to stay cool. They are just sometimes blessed with just wonderful weather.
Right.
Unless you're like Seattle or coastal. You get a lot of rainy area, but that's
gray.
a totally different problem. I'd rather have that than 110 some days. So, looking at all the different places, and there's a lot of, I think beautiful places in the Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
But I really honed in on two different places. One is Bend, Oregon.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the other one is, go ahead.
Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene?
Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, there you go. Depending on where you're from and your accent, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is the place that you would want to be. Well, not depending on your accent. You want to be there.
You just may say it different.
You just may definitely sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I will say Coeur d'Alene comes up in my Instagram and on my travel Pinterest frequently. Like, it's having a moment the last year or two. So many people are going there. It is one of these places that, obviously, if you're really into outdoors and like water sports, that type of environment, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is one of the places that you need to go. I see so many different posts about it, and it looks beautiful. It's a bit of a drive for us from here, but for other people in the Southwest, it's not that far. So I think it is a really good, like, fun long weekend alternative, especially if you're looking to get out of the house and go actually do something.
Yeah. Which it kind of matches up well with like Bend, Oregon, because Bend has that combination of like rivers and mountains, and it's not quite as high as like Flagstaff is in elevation. I think it's like around 3,600 feet, but it keeps the temperatures cooler. And but you also get like this really neat downtown area in Bend, and all the museums and fun that go along with that. If you're looking to do that quick weekend trip and just kind of, maybe you want to mix. Maybe you want to like be downtown a little bit, do some shopping, hiking, or not hiking, shopping and museums and stuff like that. But then the next day you want to do some hiking or like float the river or something like that.
I was going to say the same thing.
It's I think they're two cities that really kind of pair up well with each other.
Yeah. Does it make you think of back home people going to San Marcos to float the river in the summer?
I don't know why. I thought we were special in that aspect. Like, we're the only ones that float rivers in Texas, like Texas is the only state that has rivers to float in. Like, no, man, come on. People do it.
And like, that's the thing. That's what people do. And now we find, it's so common.
Yeah.
People do it all over the place.
And in Bend, it's almost a rite of passage to float the Deschutes river. And, but also you can kayak down it and paddleboard and tube and all kinds of stuff. But it is kind of one of those things that when the weather warms up, that's where you're going to find most people is on the river. You think
it's one of those things like they have a nice sunny day and everybody like cuts out of work early and they go down and they get on the river.
Well, yeah, because the Deschutes runs through the Old Mill District and like the downtown area. So, have you seen the videos of the folks like in Switzerland? Yeah. Like they complete whatever day, whether it's school or work or whatever. And then most of them just, are down to their swimsuits and then they just jump in the river and like float down the river to wherever. I imagine, I haven't seen that, but I imagine that's what it's like in summertime in Bend with the Deschutes.
That would be so much fun though. Like that's just everybody's motive. Like if you live downriver, you don't drive home. You just jump in the river with your inner tube and you float home.
Absolutely. And, right along there apparently is the Bend White Water Park as well. So you can like float the river and then get to the White Water Park and do some,
rafting.
Do some rafting and check out the wildlife. And
that's neat.
Yeah, to me, that's a neat little like weekend that's not super expensive. You're not going to break the bank over it. Yeah. And it's probably going to be a really good time.
I feel like Bend, Oregon is one of those places that people mention, but not like, oh, I'm going to go to Bend, Oregon. It's like, yeah, I was there once, or, I was driving through it. But I think a lot of these places we're talking about, like they deserve to have a little bit more light shined on them because depending on what you're into, they have some really great activities and they aren't going to be overrun with tourists, but they're also not so remote that you don't have options. Like there's going to be places to eat, there's going to be places to stay, and then there's going to be activities to do for a wide range of things, not just, we have a river, you can float it. Like they have other things too.
Yeah. Like the High Desert Museum, if you are into walking around the museums, learning and getting some culture, things of that nature, which I am so much that Amy's barred me from doing that sometimes. But also, if you want to get outside, like the Newberry National Volcanic Monument, which is this, dormant volcano area, you can go and, I mean, you're outdoors, but you can also still learn some things.
You can.
Get out there.
And it's a huge volcanic area.
Yeah.
Like one of these that has so many different things to see. It's not like, they have one dormant volcano. You walk over and you see it.
No,
like it's a whole park system in itself.
Yeah, it's over 50,000 acres. It's a good size area with lava chutes and, I don't recommend floating down the lava river. No. But also you can do that if you want to. And I mentioned earlier the Old Mill District and places of that nature, but specific stops if you're interested, right? Spork. Spork. It always pops up as one of the best places to grab a bite to eat in Spork. It has a fusion of flavors, always good. Goodies chocolates. If you want ice cream, chocolates, candy, there you go. And of course the lot, which is a food cart pod area, and has a bunch of different selections and everything. But
I feel like Bend a while back had a really big craft brewery scene. I don't know if they still do, because I feel like over the last several years, it seems like craft brews have kind of, I don't know, maybe become a little less popular. But I remember I don't know, maybe before COVID, like that was one of the big places people would go if they were into craft brewing.
Man, I tell you, a couple of years ago, COVID really knocked a lot of craft brewers and I know a lot of them unfortunately kind of shut down, and then more and more have just been struggling to get back up to where production was, where it was before all that. So it is interesting. I'd like to
we need to go
kind of look
check
at
it
that.
out.
A lot of great beers come out of Oregon.
Yeah.
We need to go explore that.
And you know what
more.
comes out of Idaho? Potatoes.
Yeah, a lot of potatoes. They're potato people.
I know, I'm silly.
My first introduction to Idaho was a few years ago, and driving north through Salt Lake. And, it's kind of arid until you get to the Salt Lake area, and then it kind of starts getting green. And then you cross over into Idaho, and it's like the grass is just this green I haven't seen since I was a Ute.
In a long time.
Since I was a Ute, since old germ was young germ, you know what I'm saying? But Idaho, man, you and I passed through Idaho not too long ago.
Recently.
Yeah, a few months ago or whatever. And it was your first time.
It was, yes.
Seeing Idaho too. And you were like, what is this?
It's so green.
It's so green everywhere.
And you don't think of Idaho being mountainous. I don't immediately think of it being mountainous. I think of potato farms, but it's a state that's actually bigger than you think it is. And dependent on where you are in the state, it can be very, mountainous or flat, or even, as you've been to, they have a waterfall that's bigger than Niagara Falls there, but does not always have water. Which we
you have to plan your trips to Shoshone Falls accordingly, because it doesn't always have water going over the falls. I found that out. Yes, of course. But Coeur d'Alene is one of these places. 4 hours outside of Seattle.
So it's more northern Idaho.
Yeah,
it's
it's
up
more
in the where it gets very narrow going towards Canada. And it is a very, I would say it looks like a very outdoorsy type of place, because there are so many lakes and rivers and things in that area. Yeah,
including Tubbs Hill. Tubbs Hill is free. It's an attraction that's by downtown, trails, all of that. It kind of sits along the water. A lot of people just go, and it's a relaxation place to just kind of go and chill, and green area. You can get some steps in and things like that nature. But it is one of those things that's just it kind of butts up against the city park and the beach area.
People go
next to their downtown. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they also have really cool lake cruises. You can find these online, man. There's more than a few of them, but these double deck boats that have indoor and outdoor seating, you rent them, or get the ticket and you can be on there.
They
and
probably do like dinner cruises and things like that.
From time to time they do dinner cruises.
Fun.
But if you just want to cruise around the lake too and just be like, for an hour, I'm better than most people because I'm on a boat on a lake and you're not. But there's also fun if you want theme parks like Silverwood. Silverwood theme park is there with some roller coasters. But it also gives you stay, I think, in those beach vibes and that water kind of vibe.
Because it has like a water park in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like, I don't know, like what was that in San Antonio? Like Fiesta, Texas, or was that also SeaWorld?
No, I mean, there's
Six Flags.
Schlitterbahn, but there were so many in that area.
So many other places remind me of times we've had in Texas, but 2 great cities, a little bit far apart in geography, but also pretty good for long weekends, I would think. Keep it right here on Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Find us online, unscaledtravelshow.com. All of our past episodes, interviews, just pictures of me. There's sketches of Amy wearing this and only this. Like when you were French girls. Unscaledtravelshow.com. You can check us all out there. Thank you to all of our new subscribers. We put all of these episodes on our podcasting platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that. Thank you for everyone who subscribed, left us 5-star reviews.
You're still salty about that 1-star review.
We got our first 1-star review, man. Whatever. I know who it was. I'm not gonna.
Do you?
No,
we're not everyone's cup of tea.
I have guesses, but I won't go into that. It'll start me down a whole long list of conspiracy theories. Anyway, we're talking about, we got time for one last summer vacation.
Yeah.
One last summer trip, long weekend. You got to make it memorable, but you don't want to break the bank. And you don't want to spend all your time on the road.
Right. Yeah.
Unless your destination is the road trip. That's part of the journey and all of that.
Which we've talked about and is a fun trip in itself. That's
in
not
itself,
what we're talking about today.
Tons of fun, but that's not the point today. The point today is to get somewhere and create some memories, right? And we're breaking things down by region. And now I want to kind of shift focus to the Midwest because I think oftentimes when we do shows like this, we don't talk about the Midwest.
Skip the Midwest, right? Right. Which, ironically, our daughter is in the Midwest in one of these places right now for her last little trip before school starts. Yeah,
and this had, a total accident. Right. I didn't realize she was going to be there when we were talking about this. But the 2 areas I would say in the Midwest that spring to mind are the Wisconsin Dells and Traverse City in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
So, 2, opposite ends of the spectrum, I think, as far as places, but you can have a good time in either location.
Do you think outside of people in that region that most people have heard of these places?
I know I hadn't.
You haven't?
We grew up in Southeast Texas and the Texas people are weird. And I say that lovingly because I am of Texas, right? But we have Texas and then there's everywhere else.
Right.
And we don't think a lot about everywhere else.
We really
I grew up
don't.
with a very stunted view on what actually is happening here in the United States as far as places to be and things to see and things. So it wasn't only until a couple of years ago that I really even started thinking about the Midwest.
Yeah. But I will say over the last maybe 2-ish years, both of these places I became aware of and started hearing them as vacation destinations that people in the Midwest, everybody in the Midwest knows about these places.
Right.
And they go there. But outside of that area, no one knows about them.
And I think they like it. that way. They don't like it when shows like ours come along and then they're like, well, let's talk about it. No. But like where Wisconsin Dells is, I think, absolutely built for family vacations and family trips. They have water parks and attractions and even like these boat tours, amphibious boat tours. Traverse City, obviously Lake Michigan, beaches, the scenic drives. It's more nature driven.
Yeah.
So like, again, a little bit opposite, but both very, very, I think well loved in their specific areas. Looking at Wisconsin Dells, of course, like you said, our daughter is near there right now as we speak, but they call themselves the water park capital of the world.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of fun.
That I didn't know.
Because I love water parks. I grew up loving water parks.
Yeah.
I forget the one we used to have in Houston long ago. Not Astroworld, but Waterworld.
Waterworld, yeah.
Waterworld was like one of my favorite stops.
I never went.
You never went?
It was right next to Astroworld, but my parents never let us go.
Oh, man. It was so much fun. So to have a place that is, I guess dubs itself water park capital of the world, this is somewhere I need to go be.
Okay.
I need to go to there.
You need to go to there.
And some of the most popular ones are like Noah's Ark Water Park. It's 70. Is it supposed to rhyme? Anyway, it's more than 70 acres. Has 2 giant wave pools, lazy rivers. Of course, if you're from that area, you know all about it.
Yeah.
But if you're not from there, then you definitely need to check it out. Like go online and look at the videos and everything. But the kids areas, all kinds of slides, lazy rivers, and of course, like surfing attractions, including like the Black Anaconda and the Raha, and specific rides like that there at Noah's
sounds
Ark.
fun. I mean, we had Schlitterbahn, which was a huge park for us, and this is even bigger. So all I can think, though, is that here, well, in Texas, it would get super hot. And remember the concrete ground would like burn your feet. So your mom would be like, you should wear water shoes. And you're like, I don't want to wear water shoes. They're ugly. And then you'd be standing there hot footing it like a lizard because the ground is so hot. I imagine they don't have this issue in Wisconsin because it's not like they're baking the ground there.
Like one of those little lizards on National Geographic.
Yeah, where they lift the one front, one back leg, and then they swap.
Or you'd have to wait for someone who got off the ride to like come stand by you and let them
and like the ground
drip,
got wet. Yes,
drip on the ground and stand in their water. Sounds
so
gross.
funny.
But there's like. They also have several more enormous water parks, which makes sense if you're going to call yourself the water park capital of the world. You better be packing some serious water parks.
Yeah.
The Kalahari Wilderness Resort, Great Wolf Lodge, which there's a few Great Wolf lodges in different areas, Mount Olympus and different areas like that. But important, we're talking about not breaking your budget as well. You don't have to stay at the biggest water park resort to visit Wisconsin Dells. That's a good point. Because there's conventional hotels and motels. You can drive in and just do the tickets. And, for the water parks themselves, you don't necessarily have to stay at the resort to get in on the fun.
Well, the way I became acquainted with the Dells was actually someone had posted this really cool place called Witch's Gulch. And I believe you could only get there if you take like a boat tour through the area. But one of the stops is it's a gulch that they have created like a raised platform that you walk through, and it almost looks like a slot canyon, except it's like covered in ferns and moss. And it looks like something from, and I'm going to date myself, but it looks like you're walking through Fern Gully or something like that. It's so Fern Gully. Yes. But it's so neat looking in all the pictures. And so I saw this maybe 2 years ago and I saved it. And then now periodically it pops back up. And just maybe, 2 months ago, it came up again and I saved it again. And I was like, wait, I've already saved this because I want to go. It looks really cool.
Right.
But I think this whole area, that's what it first became famous for, were these like outdoor type of attractions, for lack of a better word. And then the water parks just built on it.
Sprang up around it, right? all natural, like the Lord intended. The dells of the Wisconsin River, you may be asking yourself, what the heck is a dell, right? So it's a roughly 5-mile stretch of sandstone cliffs and like narrow river passages that have been carved out over time, right? Tourism there dates back to the 1800s. So they've been keeping this a secret, to themselves, with themselves, amongst their generations of people for many years now. I think that's pretty selfish. Photographer H.H. Bennett helped make the scenery famous through his photographs of the dells, send them back east, and people wouldn't believe him. I think eventually he got put in an insane asylum. That's unofficial history. But his studio,
Jeremy's version of history.
His studio still remains downtown in the Dells. So, and, I mentioned the original Wisconsin ducks. The ducks are what they call they're World War II era amphibious vehicles. Mm-hmm. They drive on land and then they take you to water.
Yeah. It looks like a boat with wheels.
Yeah, it's a boat with wheels, basically. Yeah. You'll see the same thing in like Branson, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Although I think they had a few problems a couple years back.
I think the one in Boston was the one that had the problem. Yeah, kind of shut them down nationwide for a while.
Okay, are they still running?
I think they're back. They're back up and running. Okay.
Yeah. They've been operating tours though since the 40s, I believe, after World War II ended, and they needed to make use of these vehicles. So now you can actually do that. And there's all kinds of boat tours and everything, but also, you don't have to play in the water if you don't want to play in the water. Right. It's your party. You can cry if you want to. Downtown Wisconsin Dells is very much a classic tourist downtown area, right? It has all kinds of arcades, candy shops, souvenir stores, restaurants, attractions of all kinds of murals you can get your picture in front of and all kinds of stuff. But like, it does make for a really fun little stop.
Yeah. I want to go, though I've only been in Wisconsin one time, and I was very pleased with the part of the state that I was in. I thought it was lovely. I was there for a work trip. I've been meaning to go back, so I think we have to put the Dells on our slate of trips for next year. Very
quickly, cheese curds, yes or no?
No, can't do it.
Wisconsin, you can keep those. I will take your water parks. I will leave your cheese curds. So also Traverse City, Michigan. Now, Michigan, there's different areas of Michigan that I just, have visited and really, really, really like Ann Arbor. And I am a Wolverines fan, so it was fun going to Ann Arbor and seeing the stadium and all of that. So, but Traverse City in Michigan is almost the opposite of the Dells, right? Instead of water parks and amusement attractions, the water itself is the attraction. People go to Lake Michigan. They go to the beaches and the dunes and the bays around it and the forests and all of that. So it's more of an outdoorsy area, but it's designed for that. It's like, hey, get you out on trails, get you out on the water, get you out, doing these things.
I mean, I haven't been to this area, but what I know of it, it's a lot of small towns. To me, it's when I think of like, oh, we're going to go apple picking in the fall. Like, it's kind of this area that comes to mind for me, and there's the lake in the distance. And it seems like if you want to be outside and enjoying that kind of, last few weeks of summer, this is a fantastic place to do it.
Couple areas like Sleeping Bear Dunes or the Pierce Stocking Scenic Drive, they offer some really fun natural activities to get out and check out. But also the dune climb. This is the one where if you can't get back up the dune, you got to pay like $5,000. Is that the right? Is this the one?
Oh, I don't know. Huh. Okay.
It's like, this is not the extremely steep one. That's the other one. Okay, never mind. Keep it right here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, Amy.
Hello.
Sin City. Diamondback. You know the drill. Talking about that. We got time for one last summer vacation. One last little trip.
That's where the whole idea for this came from. You and I were talking about, we have a few more weeks left of summer. what do we want to do before the season starts changing and we get into that, fall and holiday season? Where's something we can do? And you and I kind of have a criteria for a good long weekend trip.
Mm-hmm.
No more than a 5-hour drive. If we can get there in 4, even better. But we don't want to spend 2 whole days driving there and driving back. Then you only get a Saturday somewhere. So we look for somewhere close. We look for somewhere that either we haven't been there before and we want to explore, or maybe we've been there and we didn't get to explore everything that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Another thing for us, sometimes we want something a little more naturey. Sometimes we want to check out a whole new city. So we're kind of looking for different options too. And I feel like that's hopefully what we're giving people is like, if you're into this type of long weekend trip, here's an option. If you're looking for something totally different, here's an option.
Right.
But I mean, you and I, we're not necessarily going to go camping and sleep in a tent for a weekend, although some people will and they'll love that. But I think if that's what you're into, you kind of already know the places you can go do that. This is like you looking for something new or different. So hopefully it helps.
Yeah. And coming up where we are now, I mean, you have a long weekend like Labor Day weekend or something like that coming up. And so you're going to have these weekends where you're going to have an opportunity, and it's probably like that last send off and the official end of summer. But also we think about like not blowing a whole bunch of money on lodging. Now, of course, we don't want to spend money on a place that's scary.
Right.
And doesn't have clean beds or whatever, because we've done that as well. But for a long weekend, you probably really only need 2 nights. So like really compare. And this time of year as well, depending on where you go, you can find deals between hotels and motels. And really the difference, honestly, between a 4-star hotel and a 3-star or a 3 and a 2 is sometimes very, very small.
Yeah.
But the money can add up.
And it truly does depend on the property. I've stayed at some 4-star places that felt like a 2 and vice versa. So you can't always trust that star rating. Do your research, read the reviews. That's all I'm going to say.
And I always say like, the less money we spend on this, the more we can spend on like one thing. And usually if it's a long weekend, you and I try to go, okay, what's that one thing we're going to absolutely put our money down on, because this is the experience that we want to have. And we usually kind of take it from there. It's like, you know what, I'll pick a lesser motel if that means I get a higher experience over here, because I didn't drive to sleep in the motel. I drove to do the experience.
And we do the same with food. We kind of pick one nicer meal, and then the rest of them we eat a little bit more low budget. Or we even go to the store and pick up sandwich stuff. Yeah.
That's super easy.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like we've had Michelin star meals, but also I've had plenty of sandwiches in hotels and gone, you know what? I didn't come here for anything but this one experience.
Yeah.
So keep it right here. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my very apparently sleepy co-host.
I'm sorry, I had to yawn.
You yawned into the microphone. Having a good time. We were talking about that one last summer. Hurrah. Man, having a good time over a long weekend as summer expires, comes to an end. And we turn our attention to the East Coast, one place I haven't been to, and one place I have been to. And I've only heard stories about the first place. And there's a lot of great places in like the Northeast, but the one that kept popping up, just kind of looking at the research and everything, was White Mountains, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
Now, also there were a lot of places like in Vermont and things like that, but White Mountains, New Hampshire kept popping up for the Northeast, and in the Southeast, Chattanooga.
Tennessee. Okay.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay. Well, I will say I have a friend that lives not in New Hampshire, but right over the state line in Vermont. And she has told me so many wonderful things about the summers there. She lives right on a lake. They do so many outdoor activities and really enjoy the area because it does get super cold there in the winter. So they really enjoy being out in the summertime. And she has told me like she's gone over into New Hampshire a few times. So I think this is one of those areas, like there's probably so much to do that there's no way to know all of it. So you have to kind of like pick an area and say, this is where I'm going. Like, this is what I'm going to do here.
Nice. Yeah, you hear those dings, those people from Missouri hitting me up. They don't like me. So looking at the Northeast, looking at the White Mountains, the White Mountains cover a huge portion of northern New Hampshire, with Mount Washington as kind of the centerpiece to everything that is going on there in the White Mountains. It's about 6,200 feet in the air, which if you're in Europe, I don't know how many meters that is. I don't know what the math is. So you don't need to climb Mount Washington, though, to make the trip worthwhile, because everywhere around in that area, you're going to find different things to do.
The math is roughly 3-1, but okay.
Is it? Yes. Is that what it is? Thank you for calling me out on that.
Keep going.
One of the first things in that area, is the highway is Kankamagus. Did I say that right? Kankamagus?
It's a name that has a lot of A's in it.
They call it the Kank. I kid you not. The Kank. It is roughly 30 miles of New Hampshire Route 112 that goes through the White Mountain National Forest, right?
Okay.
It connects Lincoln and Conway, but there's no restaurants, very few stops along this place. But it's just kind of forest, mountains, and rivers and overlooks. So you get this beautiful kind of scenic drive, 100-mile scenic drive.
Sounds beautiful.
Through all of this beauty that's uninterrupted.
That sounds beautiful.
Which that sounds amazing. It sounds like something I definitely want to do like tomorrow. Another good family stop is Sabaday Falls. So right off the highway, or a very short walk off the highway, you have Sabaday Falls, which is a series of cascades that drop through this narrow gorge.
Oh, really?
So imagine this, and I know we're talking summertime, but imagine this like in leaf peeping season.
Oh, right.
And how beautiful this must be.
Yeah, well, it's right off the highway. I mean, it looks like you park and you maybe walk, 5 or so minutes, and then there's all these falls. But it's not something that's going to take a lot of time. It's like, okay, you're driving, the falls are coming up, let's pull over, let's go look at them, get our family selfie in front of the falls, and then get back in the car and go see something else. You know, how we do now in 2026.
You go, all right. Everyone get in front, pretend like we just had a great time. We
weren't all just fighting in the car.
Mom wasn't just freaking out in the car. There's also the Lower Falls, which is another easy stop along the
Kank.
I wanted you to say it. But it's located along the Swift River. They have picnic areas, a river access, so I guess if you just wanted to float down the Swift River, you could.
Maybe.
2 parts unknown. I don't know how you get out, but they have the huge like granite rocks and the shallow pools that have been formed. Everything
sounds lovely.
It sounds like a Norman Rockwell painting.
I was about to say, if you're a nature photographer, then this is probably a fantastic place to go and hone your craft.
One of the signature attractions, though, along this way is the Flume Gorge. It's a natural granite gorge that extends roughly 800 feet. It has walls on both sides that rise up as high as about 90 feet. So you follow this roughly 2-mile loop that has stairs and boardwalks and forestry that's really well maintained, and you're rewarded with waterfalls and a huge granite formation throughout. So the gorge, interesting enough, because I like my history.
Yes, you do.
But it was actually European discovery. I just want to say that. Discovered by European ancestry by a 93-year-old woman.
What? Okay.
Yeah. A 93-year-old woman named Aunt Jess Guernsey.
Okay.
in
She
180
just
Ep.
stumbled upon a gorge nobody had ever seen before.
Stumbled is probably the right word.
Okay. Not stumbled into.
Someone was trying to get rid of her and found this gorge. No, that is absolutely not true. So don't take that.
A 93-year-old is just, wow, was she alone? Nobody else was with her when she discovered this? I have so many questions.
I think she was lying.
I think Unscaled Stories needs to do a video on this and teach me a few things.
They do have this place called the Old Man of the Mountain. Not an old man.
Mountain. Okay.
Like Old Man in the Sea, but that's a Hemingway book. New Hampshire has a famous natural rock profile that once overlooked the Franconia Notch, but it collapsed in 2003.
Oh, is this
So it's not
another
even-
one of these things where people were walking on it and it fell?
No.
Oh,
It's actually, they built a platform out and you could see the rock formation in the
Oh.
distance. And the profile of it looked like an old man.
Oh, I see.
And it collapsed, I think, after just
Aw.
natural
His
wear.
nose
And,
fell off or something?
yeah, like part of it. But it's all still there, so you can go see where the thing used to be.
Okay.
But they're really
Sure.
proud of it. They're like the spirit of the Old Man of the Mountain still,
But he's gone.
but he's gone.
He passed on.
Oh, he went with the 93-year-old
Oh,
woman somewhere.
okay. I see.
And of course, one of their most famous things is the Mount Washington Cog Railway. So this is like a really fun family attraction. It opened in 1869, so it's been around for a minute. It's the world's first mountain climbing cog railway. It climbs Mount Washington to the summit, and the railway tackles grades like approaching 38%. So it's good, pretty steep.
Oh, I've seen video of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It departs from the base station on the western side of the mountain and goes up to the very top of it.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool to do. I'd like to do it.
Would you? You do get afraid of heights.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you're technically touching the railway, so you're like on the ground, but
As long as I can do that, I think I'm fine.
you're not suspended like in a gondola.
Yeah. That's a little bit different.
But it's about the same steep grade that you're going up. At least it's not a scenic railroad.
Yeah.
Because I know how you feel about those.
If it's not, as long as it's not the one in Branson. So turning my attention now to Chattanooga. Now, this is a place I have been to, or at least at surface level been to. And actually, this is our friend John. He has a life partner that is from Chattanooga. She's a very sweet girl, but she's from Chattanooga and her family and that whole thing. But this is like the family pick. I would think.
You think? Okay.
I would think so. If you're in the southeast, this is a good.
If you got kids and younger kids.
Yeah, Chattanooga sits along the Tennessee River. Of course, it's near the Tennessee-Georgia border. Excuse me, border.
Are you from Tennessee?
I had some of that bourbon. Or is that Kentucky? No, Tennessee? No, that's both.
It's both.
But Chattanooga packs an unusual number of family attractions into a relatively small area.
Oh, okay.
And like the areas around it too, because you can pass up Chattanooga and go to like Pigeon Forge and these kind of places. So even if you wanted to make Chattanooga like your base of operations or your base for this particular longer weekend, you could go see some other things in that area. But the Tennessee Aquarium is right there in Chattanooga, and it's pretty big. It's pretty, it's in downtown.
So it's worth going to.
It's the downtown riverfront area for them.
Okay.
But it's worth going to. It's divided into two distinct buildings, the River Journey and an Ocean Journey. So the River Journey traces freshwater environments from the Appalachian Mountains towards the Gulf, the ocean, obviously.
I would love to hear from any of our listeners if they've been there. Is it truly worth going to? Because we were just somewhere, I won't say where, and they had a newish aquarium, and we were talking about going, and I was advised by a local, don't bother. And you and I have been to another aquarium that I would say, don't bother. So now when I hear about aquariums, I always want to ask somebody that's been there. Like, was it good?
People have strong opinions on aquariums. And now that we've been to we've been to ones around the world.
Yeah.
And I have strong opinions on aquariums. So I am wondering.
And it's not
it does
necessarily
pop
the size, because we've been to small aquariums that were fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we've been to some that were pretty big, but it was kind of like, lackluster. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I'm curious if anybody's been there, what you think.
But also the Chattanooga riverfront area is fun in itself. So it's, it's one of these areas you can just park and walk, but they have places like Ross's Landing, Tennessee Riverwalk, and Walnut Street Bridge, and parks of all sorts down in that area. The bridge, by the way, the Walnut Street Bridge, was built in 1891. So it's been around for a while.
Interesting.
A lot of stuff in that area.
Don't they have a lot of caves in that area too?
I believe so.
I feel like they do. Like there's a lot of like cave
like
tours and things like that.
Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain has an area called Ruby Falls, which is an underground cave.
Okay.
It's an underground cave and waterfall.
Oh.
There's a waterfall that's underground.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Lookout Mountain is one of those like really, really super popular areas. I mean, it's a 145-foot waterfall.
Oh, wow.
So imagine the one at
Lower Calf.
Lower Calf
Creek, yeah.
Creek, and it was even bigger than that.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Lookout Mountain and that area, Chattanooga, but Chattanooga and White Mountains, New Hampshire, two areas for the East Coast.
I feel like we need to take a trip to White Mountain.
I feel like we will.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in White Mountain or maybe Chattanooga. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We'll see you guys next time.